Hey y'all, hey, what's up? Welcome to yet another episode of Who Got
God,
Time? You do. That's why you here. You got time. You got
facts.
the
I put it in my
time.
calendar.
Welcome to my podcast. I'm so excited to have you. Look who's here. It is the one and only Blackroot Collier,
It's me.
aka my baby brother. I
It's
know
true.
people. I know people. Okay, I know him. I don't know that
I
many
mean,
people.
that's
I
enough.
know I know a couple people, but he's pretty cool. I don't know if I've mentioned it. Okay, maybe 10 or 12 times, but our new theme intro situational who got time? Who got I'm not doing it justice. It's Blackroot Collier.
It's
He
me.
does it. That lovely chuckle at the end, the one that makes you think of a killer, or like you know
That's
that
so worth.
that that's him. You know you
I
love it.
did it.
You
I
know you
did it.
love it.
I
Hey,
did it.
wall. Hey,
What's up, Hermana? How
welcome.
are you?
I'm
I'm good. I'm
good.
good.
How are you? Look, y'all. He stole my face too, and my gat. He not
I
just
stole
queens
it.
have
I,
it.
I,
You stole it.
I thought
I'm
I just
older.
had
You
it.
stole it.
Thought I just had it. It's okay. We can share it. It's like it's both ours. I just keep it in my house. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, we here in the Coco Mojo,
I miss you though, yo.
and
Yes, this
the
whole
Coco
Panasonic
Mojo,
thing.
right,
Yeah, this
has kept
Panasonic is
us
crazy. You know what I
right
mean?
because
Yeah.
in the middle of the quackamajoo,
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah,
we
this
haven't been
Panasonic
able
is
to
crazy.
unite in the way that we should. It's evening time, y'all. I'm drinking wine. Don't judge. And if you do, who cares? I don't. Mhm. Join us. We are here in the evening time, the mall and I, to discuss all things art.
In the
I
evening.
see. I'm not the only one who does it in my family. It's like an epidemic that runs among us.
Yeah, it's a pandemonium.
I've decided that we need to discuss artsy fartsy things more.
Okay.
And I know that I'm not really well versed on things art,
Okay.
but I know what I like, right?
That's important. Yeah.
So I've decided that we're going to have a weekly by weekly situation.
I like that.
And you want to know what the name of it is? You're not ready.
I don't know.
Potato Picasso.
But-
You know, tomato,
well,
tomato, potato,
yeah.
potato,
Yeah.
potato, Picasso. Because what
Yeah.
do I know about art?
I
Yeah.
mean, Cheyenne
All
would
right,
probably say
artsy fartsy was already taken.
artsy
Okay.
fartsy is all right, potato Picasso. Or you could just say
And yeah,
art
Cheyenne said,
stuff.
okay, mom, whatever. When
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mentioned it to
I
her.
was about to say Cheyenne would be like, well, yeah, mommy, corny is also genetic. She'd probably say something like that. But then you would threaten to beat her. But you know you're not beating me though. Because I do push ups.
I don't get no support, y'all. You see this, right?
Well,
No support.
before we get into art, I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow.
Stop
If I
it. Stop
fail,
stealing people's
if
lives.
I
Oh, they
succeed,
sucks.
at least, I live how I believe.
You
You
ain't
know
got
what I
no
mean?
shame. There is no shame here, people.
Okay, I'm for real, but this is original. Like I believe the
The
children
children are
are our
the
future.
future.
How'd you know? Teach them well. You know what I
And
mean?
let them lead the way. Get off my podcast, yo.
It was also close to midnight, and there was something evil lurking in the dark.
All right, Thriller.
But yo, so what do you want to talk about? And I mean, I'm not super versed in art. I know I'm an
I
artist and I
know, I
do it full
know, I
time.
know.
But
But
whatever I'm
see,
gonna talk about, we bout it. You know what I
that's
mean?
the thing. There are so many genres to this
Correct.
art thing,
Hmm.
right?
So many
And you,
disciplines.
sir, are an artist
I do that.
that delves. That's me delving
No, I thought you didn't know what to do with your
into
hands.
the genre or the discipline of music.
All right.
So I would like to discuss, because it's one of my favorite things, the music that you are into these days. Because let's not make believe. You are always doing something musical.
That's facts.
And I said, who better than my brother? Because I know you up to something, and you just dropped, like, literally, you just dropped. I called him, y'all, and I was like, hermano, because hermano is brother, and I don't have time for the whole word, so it's just
Who
mano.
got time? He should make a podcast
Right, right.
about that.
Who? What you be thinking? So I was like, hey, mano, can you, like, cause this your lane, can you do a theme song for me? Cause I don't want to pay for nobody else's music, and this what you do. I write and make corny jokes, and he turned it around in like pew 6.3 seconds. And I was like, A, I can barely rhyme, and B, I am CEO of Tone Deaf Records. Everybody knows this. So, dude, tell the people, how long did it really take? Like, how do you even come up with the beat? Like, I didn't say I wanted to sound like this, and it's fabulous.
Yeah, well, you already know you were born in the 70s and I was born in the 80s, but between our parents, our grandparents, and our natural inclination towards life, we're a lot older on the inside. So
No, I'm,
when I
I'm
spoke
ancient,
to,
like me and Moses.
I mean, when they said let there be light, a part of you flicked on the light switch. You feel me?
Ah,
So, and then I was right there, right when Noah was like, yo, let's get these things on the ark. And I was like, you should do that, dog.
by twos,
That's a,
yo,
that's a good
organized.
idea. You should, because multiples of twos. You should definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, yeah, man, we just have a natural inclination for things in terms of lineage, in terms of just telling stories and being a griot, and we're conduits. You know what I
Yes,
mean? So
yes,
I'm a conduit in my way musically through rhyming and poetry and rhythm, and you're a conduit through your words and your writings
that's
and your
storytelling.
syntax. You know what I
Yes,
mean? So we're still storytellers. We're both very much storytellers. And I remember sitting in, in Prince George's County in Maryland in the living room and hearing you tell a story to mom, and mom actually literally trying to be like, well, don't be so emphatic about the story and
yeah,
blah, blah, blah. And I remember looking at her and I was like, but that's what you do. You know what I mean? Like she's telling
right.
you not to
I
do
came by it honestly.
what she do,
Right.
but I was like 7. So I knew if I said something, I would lose my whole face. So I just listened.
Backhand.
You know what I mean?
Blah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the story for Who's Got Time, I want to give a little bit of backstory. Writing something for you and my mother, our mother, is like one of the most challenging things for me to do. I didn't write something to honor her until she literally transitioned physically. And
Right.
that in a way was like the catalyst for me to do that.
Right.
But even still, I knew if it wasn't good, you would have never heard
Right.
it, So when I did Who's Got Time, you're still here. So like
Oh, it's so
if
good.
it was trash, I gotta go through you and tell me it's trash. Then I gotta
Well,
go through my niece,
I
and she
wouldn't
would
have
have said it
said.
was trash.
Okay, she might
And
have said
then
it.
and
I
then no, she
wouldn't have said
definitely
it
would have
was
said it.
trash.
And then Gigi, she would have said it was trash. And then Cam would have been like, ugh.
Shay, no, Gigi would have just went.
Correct. I would have known. Her saying nothing would have let me know
Right. She
how
just would
she
have been
felt
like,
about it. She wouldn't have said anything, as a matter of fact.
who did that? Jamal.
Oh,
Mm,
okay. But he does this professionally, right? Hmm.
mm.
Pass the wine. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that would have
Right.
been
Right.
that'd have been the end of it.
Right.
Or you'd have
Right.
been like, well, how about those Mets? You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
But yeah, so when I did it, I heard it first and I was like, yo, I literally spoke to DJ Clutch about it and I said, I have a really huge thing to ask of you. I was commissioned to do this theme song, a podcast for my sister, and this is like Delta Con threat level maximum. You know what I mean?
Did
So like
not
let's
say.
go in. I said, I told him, I said, I need something like some earth, wind, and fire energy, some
Yo,
some
love them.
horns. And I literally gave him like a horn structure, and I forgot what the horn sequence was, but it was kind of something similar, earth, wind, and fire ish.
Right.
No, actually, you know what? I bit and interpolated. Interpolated just mean like I kind of changed certain notes.
Right.
It was too legit to quit.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. So when
Mm-hmm.
I did the scratch, and it was like dun, 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 dun. So I kind of changed it up, so in case there was any, copyright infringement foolishness, we'd be good. So I
Right.
said, do something like that with the horns,
I don't want no
and then I
problems.
and then I did the beat, and I just beatboxed it.
which my son picked up on.
right? So I did that, and I have a real unique. So I could do that in the background instead of. So it's a little different, but I did that, and literally instead of him listening about the horns, he's like, "I got you. This is great." And then I hear it. He's like, "Yo, my man Aaron came through, and he got a really cool bass line." And I was like, "Those aren't horns." Okay. And then he played it, and I said, "Yeah, this is it."
Perfect. It was
So when I heard the beat, I literally beatboxed "Who Got Time." So I
right.
beatboxed it, and when I beatboxed it, I came up with the lyrics right there. But only
I
I
can't.
think I only did like the first two bars.
Even the background. Ain't nobody got time for that. I was
Yeah, I came up with that when he sent me the beat. When he sent me the beat, that's what motivated that. And literally, that came in after he made the beat. So his beat kind of inspired me to do that. So me doing the scratch beatbox track inspiring him to make the beat with Aaron, and Aaron heard the bass line in it, and then me hearing that fullness made me add, "Ain't nobody got down with it," like because I remember watching that, and I remember these little white kids making rap videos from it and different beats, and a whole bunch of people getting on your Sweet Brown, I think her name was. And she was, "Oh, you don't remember this skit? Oh,
yeah.
well, okay, yeah, I was about to
Yes.
say, yeah,
The fire one.
the fire, and then the smoke
Yes.
got me.
Yes. Yes.
Ain't
Yes.
nobody got time for
I
that. I
think
got
I
my
had to
own
think about it
pipe."
for a minute.
Yeah, no, but that was a minute ago. That was literally,
It was literally like
yeah.
over 5, 6 years ago.
Oh, no question. Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of what inspired it. So I finished it, man. I came up with it in, I guess I'd say, a few minutes.
Yo, it
So
was bananas. And then you sent it to me and you were like, "So do you like it?" And I was like,
yeah.
"Like it? Are you playing it? Like
Yeah,
this is amazing."
the anxiety of that was the worst because I sent it to you and you didn't say
Like like
anything.
like
But I
this
sent it to the wrong email. And
right.
then I was like, I waited a day and I was like, okay, she busy. She'll look at it.
No.
Come on, like it, like it, like it, like it. So then I literally called the DJ. I was like, yo, Clutch, my sister ain't say nothing yet, but I'm letting you know I like it. You know what I mean? Hopefully she like it, but I like it. And I was like,
Then I
damn,
get
I'm
it at
doing
like 7:30 in the morning and I'm making the coffee and I'm listening to it in my hand, like literally on my phone. And I'm
it.
like
Yeah,
scooping the coffee and I'm grinning. I'm like, this is amazing.
that's awesome.
Let me not put too much coffee in here. Oh my God, this is so good. Oh my God, this is good. And then I press play again. Oh my God, this is so good. Why is it so short? Oh, because people don't want to hear this for 3
And it's
minutes.
a theme song. Ain't nobody got time
Got
for
it.
that, right?
Got it. This is so good.
Yeah, because funny
And
because you
you
did
were
say you were
like,
like,
you really like it? And I was like, dude, this is great. Of course I like it. This is gold
yeah, that
right
means
here.
so much. That means so much to me that you love that job.
This is Olympic. Just Simone Biles right here with her
Yeah, she dope.
19,000 backflips.
Dominique Dawes action. Yep,
It's got my name in it.
it's you.
It's my things. I'm so grateful. It was so wonderful. And again, this is my thing with art. I don't understand half of the things that go into it. I'm lying. I don't understand any of the things that go into it. Let's be very clear. Let's be all the way clear. But I know at the end whether or not I like it. And this I love. It
Yeah,
was amazing.
you know what resonates
Amazing.
with you. Yeah, and to get into your question
I
about
mean,
what music am I listening to right now,
mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
something that sticks out right now is the combination, the team up that nobody asked for but everybody needed. Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars. That team up,
Yes.
yo.
I did not know about Anderson .Paak.
Yeah, I've been on him
I
now. That's the
stumbled
guy.
across him by accident. You know where I learned about him? That Tiny Desk series.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw him performing at that. And I was like, who is this sir? He's great. So
He's amazing.
I downloaded one of his songs and I was like, oh, this is fantastic.
All of them.
And so I have it on my playlist. And then I have one or two. And I really liked them. And so I was familiar with who he was. And then I mentioned him to Cheyenne and she was like, yes, yes, he's amazing. And we talked about him. And then I heard that he was doing music with Bruno. And then they dropped that single shortly thereafter. And I was like, wait a minute.
You're right.
What the what?
Right.
Like, like
I'm not even gonna
this the
disrespect him
new
for that song.
generation Commodores, Earth, Wind and Fire. Like this the new generation.
Oh,
They be making music right here. This
mint
is
condition. Yeah, they
fantastic.
literally went back in time and
Yes,
brought it right here for you to
yes,
see it.
yes.
And
I was
then to
like,
get the older heads than us, it's signed off by Bootsy Collins. So Bootsy signing
it
off.
was
So that's
great.
already raising eyebrows in a great way.
It was great.
So
I was like, what? And we already knew that Bruno has got that old soul thing
yeah,
going, but I didn't know that Anderson could blow like that. He brings
yeah.
a different something to it, and I
Yeah,
like it.
he's a whole art, and Bruno is too, because Bruno could play more than one instrument. Anderson
Yeah,
plays the
he's
drums super dope. I don't
so
know how many
talented.
instruments Anderson gets into, but
So
like
talented.
literally, he does the majority of the drums, if not all the drums on his tracks.
I like it.
When he produces them.
These people are ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
And
super dope.
I mean, that's the thing about you artists. I know that you are working on things these days, but you're always working on something. Many of you may not know, but my brother is not only a musician in his own right, but he's also a teaching musician. So he
Mhm.
teaches young people through music.
Absolutely.
And a couple of years ago, won Teaching Artist of the Year,
Yeah,
which
you came through there.
I made sure I was on set for him to get that award because it was such a huge accomplishment, and we were so uber proud of him.
Word, word.
And one of the commencement speakers, and he got his award from most prestigious NPR spokesperson. And I was all like, yo, are we famous? What is happening? What's going on right here? I
Yeah.
was really very proud of you. All jokes aside, that's a big deal because I can't teach the children because I'm going to go to jail. And you found a way to reach them
Yeah, it's a
through,
challenge.
to reach them, A, because teachers are angels, and then to reach them through music. And you do it so well. And it seems easy. I know it isn't, but
Thank
because
you,
I would
bro.
just beat them all and go to jail. Hmm.
Well, yo,
Hmm.
shout out to Aaron Henkin, because he was the person who did it, from from NPR.
Yeah, he was dope.
Yeah, phenomenal cat. I actually met him at at an artistic event run by, well, curated by Shota K, who's a phenomenal vocal percussionist and beatboxer, and it was called I forget the proper title, but
You know why? Because you're
embodiment of
getting
the vocal
old.
arts. Whoa, that's not it. I've been doing this
Hmm.
since I was 7. But
Hmm.
embodiment of the vocal arts. So embody is actually the name of it,
Hmm.
and it's dope. And he was there, and we were rapping the Beastie Boys on stage, and I was like, "Yo, check out this dude rapping the Beastie Boys." You know what I mean? So it was pretty dope, and we kind of linked up from there. He always had a really nice beard on him, so even before I did the beard game commandments, we were shouting out. I was shouting out how cool people's beards were just randomly. Before it was a cultural shift
Right,
where everybody's like, "Oh, look at this beard," and like the whole
right.
hipster thing.
Before it
You
became a
already know,
thing.
I've had a beard since high school, so like
Right.
before it was popular, I've been rocking this face fro for decades.
Yes, you've been looking like Marvin Gaye and,
And Teddy
what's his
P
name?
and
Teddy
Barry White.
Pendergrass.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, for
Turn
quite
off
some
the light.
time. Oh,
Turn them
Jesus.
off.
Light a candle.
Right. Turn them off.
Let me ask you this.
What's
Have
up?
you and your musicalifragilistically inclined friends, your little, your music enclave, because I know those such things exist.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
y'all found ways during this here, panoramic
Hmm.
to, because I know that being amongst your own and drawing off that energy is important. Have y'all found ways to do that, particularly when you couldn't in the first 6 to 8 months of the lockdown? And now, as folks are getting vaccinated and folks are easing back out and folks are
Yeah.
becoming more comfortable with being around each other, how did you shift and accommodate and pivot, so to speak? Because pivot is the key word these days.
Pivot is the word for the
To
past 2 years.
accommodate that, I'm asking most people that because in every avenue of life, we've had to find a way.
Yeah. To answer that quickly, I just never stopped. So the moment March 12th is when it all came down and we were quarantined. And I want to say by March 13th, and I might have did it on the 12th. I might have literally went Facebook and Instagram live and
Mm-hmm.
just used my loop station, which is what I use to repeat my voice when I'm making beatboxing and in different loop patterns and making music with my face because my face makes noise. I just started doing that, and I did that for maybe about 10 to 20 days straight. And then I started taking off on weekends, and then I started slowly doing it like 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then from there, people started asking me. They were treating me like I was some sort of authority in smaller circles, and they said, "Well, how did you go live? Like, what did you do? How are you getting all these people to pay attention to you?" And I said, "Well, there's a Facebook function, and it's Facebook Live." And I clicked on it. And then on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, there was a live button, and I clicked on it. You know what I mean? I had to do it. So I was very frustrated that I wasn't physically touching people and dapping people up and hugging folks. Like, I want to say I probably didn't hug somebody who wasn't in my house for like the first I don't know, 6 to 8 months. So
Right.
the first 2 months, I was literally locking myself down. I know people might have been wilding in other states or cities, but we got groceries. We had the cans of beans, the potable water. We were literally like up in here.
Right.
And for my sanity, music is something that's always been in both of our homes. I know you grew up in Brooklyn, I grew up in Maryland, but music was something that was universal that transcended that. Like grandpa would always play his classical music.
Music is life.
Yeah, music is life. Our heartbeat was the first drum that we ever heard or ever had on this planet for us. So whenever I hear these things, like I always gravitate to it, all the genres of music, literally.
Right.
So yeah, when the pandemic happened, I didn't stop. I just, like you said, I just pivoted, and I knew that how valuable music is. So I just wanted to continue connecting with people in the mediums that we had available, and I just never stopped doing that.
I love that. I
Yeah,
always say to my daughter when we have these conversations, I'm like, yo, because her musical tastes cover quite a lot of genres because
absolutely.
I exposed her to so much from so early.
Good
And
looks.
now I notice that with Cameron as well, with my little one, your nephew, he'll be in the back of the car and because it's a whole new world on the screen now in the car, he can
Mhm.
see the album covers, right? Which was
Yeah,
not the case
that's dope.
before. So he sees the album covers and he said he saw a Babyface album cover and he thought he was wearing a doctor's jacket, a lab coat. And he goes,
I know exactly
can
what you're
you,
talking about.
can you play the one with the doctor, please? I love that song. It's Babyface in a white button down, but with that big ass collar.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. The new
The
deal,
first
yo.
album, yeah.
Get
And
it
I was
in.
like,
Yeah.
he's not a Dr. Baby, that's
The
Babyface.
deal.
So
Yeah.
now I teach him the names of the artists. So he's like, can you play that Babyface again, Mom? I love him. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, we're not playing Babyface every time we get in the car. We're gonna move through all the people on the playlist so that you can
Mhm.
figure out who you really love and listen to all of them and see that there are other people you're gonna like too. So I
Yeah.
always say to her, at the I have such varied playlists because at every point in our lives, I can pinpoint who I was listening to. Each and every song reminds me of a different time and
Yeah.
chapter and place in my life.
Absolutely.
It's so beautiful, but it's so amazing.
Yeah. It's funny you say that
Good,
about
bad,
the
and
album.
indifferent.
It's funny that you say that about the album covers though, because
Hmm.
I remember, back in PG, moms had about 400 to 500 albums.
Yeah,
So I remember, and I know you saw that joint I did on Instagram where um, I think, what was it? Say You,
yeah,
where Lionel Richie leaning to the side, and
yeah,
every dude from 1965 to about 1983 had a cover when they was leaning to the side. Teddy
yep,
Pendergrass did it, Quincy
yep,
Jones did it, Lionel Richie did it. So I have all these different images. Before
yep.
we had these screens, like moms had that records right below the wine cellar because it
Right,
was also the entertainment system. Back then
right.
everything was in one place.
Come
So
on.
we had
It
we had the
was those
entertainment.
giant ass entertainment centers with 50 million cubby holes.
Yeah, made of wood,
Come on.
solid,
Hmm.
solid oak or teak wood, so it wouldn't go
Wherever
nowhere
you
near.
placed them in the house, they
That's
wasn't
what
moving.
stayed
That's where it
forever.
stayed till you moved or died.
Yeah,
Literally.
literally, yeah. And then when you passed on, we put that thing in the trash or
Yep. Because
consignment.
because if you try to move it, sometimes it would become trash. It would break apart.
Correct. Because it was there, it was literally there as long as the house was, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, I just love that. And with my kids, I make sure that they hear everything. Because one time they were playing something off the Trolls, and Justin Timberlake did September. So when I
Mhm.
played Earth on the Fire one time,
Mhm.
Jameer and Jalea was like, "Oh, that's that song from Trolls." I said, "Huh? No, it ain't."
Let me play the original for you.
Right. So now all I do is just play different genres of music. So
Yep.
last week I was playing Chuck Berry, I was playing Little Richard, and they
Yep.
really love Little Richard. So Jalea was like, no, actually, when they did Chuck Berry, Jalea was like, "Who is Maybelline, and how come she can't be true? What's she doing?" So I love all that, right? So I love playing all those songs, and I get
Mhm.
hype listening to them. And when I get hype, that kind of lets them know, okay, well, this is a good song. You know what I
Right.
mean? So there's
Right.
certain things that I kind of model, and then I love when I don't do it. I'll see how they respond to it. So like, they love the Bee Gees, they love Tavares. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But it's funny for me personally. The moment I heard Tavares do "How Deep Is Your Love," I couldn't listen to the Bee Gees do it anymore because they smashed that joint. Um,
Cameron heard me playing Aretha Franklin "Say a Little Prayer for You," and
oh,
he
that is my
loved.
song, yo.
He made
I'm,
me
go ahead,
rewind.
I'm listening.
Mom, can you play it again? Okay, Mom, can you just play it one more time? Just one more time.
Aretha.
And then if he doesn't understand the chorus, he will ask me, what are they saying so that he can
Hmm.
sing the chorus? He needs all the words. Like I
I love
love
it.
that. I
That's
love that.
beautiful. Yeah, every child it hits them. They still absorb it, but they all absorb it different ways.
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
so beautiful.
Yep. I
Yeah.
love that stuff. I am so enamored with your ability to reach your children and to connect with them through music if you take the time. You just need
And
to
you
take
got
the
to.
time.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
to because I was talking to my homeboy Bomani, Baba Bomani. Definitely check him out when you can. BabaGotBars.com makes brilliant music for children. And whenever he says BabaGotBars.com, it's family and child friendly. He also does music for
How
adults.
do you spell Baba?
B
B A
A
B A.
B A. Yeah, BABA.
So, do you know, fun fact, Baba in the Middle Eastern is father.
Absolutely. That's why he calls himself that.
Baba gotbars.com. That's beautiful. I'm
Hmm.
going to add it in our link. I'll add it in our little section underneath our YouTube.
Yeah, originally it's African, yeah, but the Middle East was Africa at one point, so that's
Yeah.
there's that. But yeah, and that's a whole nother conversation we could dig into about uh Cyprio Africanus
You
and them
mean
naming
before
Africa.
Pangea, as my son says?
Yeah, you know what I mean? When it
Mm.
was Kush or it was El Kebulon or it
My
was
6 year
you
old
know,
knows what the world was before it all broke apart.
let's
Oh,
go. Yeah.
oh,
So
okay.
after Pangea, but before Africa.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's dope.
Hmm.
But
What
yeah,
they won't
yeah.
teach you, but they try to deny. Okay.
Yo, we're steady amending what they've been
Mm.
successfully
Mm.
omitting,
But
right?
the 1619 is what you're fighting. 1619, right? The 1619 project
Hmm.
is
They
what
don't
you're
want to go.
fighting.
They don't want to go much farther because if you go
Mm.
further back, there's no mystery. It's
Mhm.
clear who was, doing what we were doing.
Let me lean all the way in when I say, y'all don't want to own the fact that you didn't come to the United States as freed Caucasian explorers.
Oh,
Most of you came as motherfucking indentured servants,
true,
castaways.
true. We call that excommunicated.
You didn't arrive in Australia with riches. You arrived as criminals
Hey, thugs even.
and have the unmitigated goal to treat those who you found there as shit on a shingle.
That's alliteration. I do. I do poetry. That was alliteration. That was good. But what they did wasn't good. But your
But I
alliteration.
digress.
But yeah, yo. So I was talking to Baba Bomani about
Mm-hmm.
how after about first to second grade, we take music out of the school. and then we leave our kids to their own devices. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I remember between third all the way up to about eighth grade, I had that Walkman. So I was listening
Mm-hmm.
to that Sony Walkman. You know what I
My
mean? And I was listening to
Sony Walkman.
Michael Jackson Bad on repeat. I remember when, I was listening to any tape that I could get from Waxy Maxie's or Sam Goody or
Remember Sam
Tower Records. You feel me?
Remember Towers, which was
Of
open
course.
all night long in 42nd Street.
I remember
24
that.
hours.
I seen it. That's when New York was the New York that we know, But that's another conversation too. But yeah, they probably got a Whole Foods there or Mom's or
No, I think it should have they turned it into I think like an H&M or a Century 21, Forever 21 or some bullshit.
That's about right.
Which is now probably gone too.
Yeah, there's probably a Pilates station and some sundials or something. But yeah, so when they take that out, we learned a lot of things through music and rhythm. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We learned all those things and the different numbers. And some people learned it 50 Nifty United States by heart because there was a song that we had to do. And then they took that out and we were left to our own thing. And a lot of parents, unlike our parents, they didn't really give us any guidance passively or directly in terms of music. So we just started finding our own way. But that means we also didn't necessarily have a filter outside of their discipline. So if you have parents that don't have the greatest of discipline, you're absorbing everything. Because there's one thing to acknowledge certain types of music. There's another thing to absorb it and emulate it. You know what I mean? So I thought that was so interesting because I remember that one of the first albums I purchased, it was a cassette tape. The first album I got was The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think I could beat Mike Tyson. It was The Fresh Prince.
Oh Lord.
Then another one was like I'm the rapper, he's the DJ. Then I got MC Hammer, Please Hammer, Don't Hurt Him. Those are records. And then I got a cassette. It was Digital Underground. So shout out to Shock G, yo.
Aww. I'm gonna tell you the first cassette that I ever had in my pink Sony radio.
Talk about it.
Because I had a pink Sony radio that I would make because DJ Red Alert was on the radio, Hot 97 in New York. Actually, I think he was on Kiss back then. It was Kiss FM.
Yeah, because they had Kiss.
And I used to make the stock tapes.
Yeah, you
would come on
commercials, right?
Right, because he would come on. I think at either 8:30 or 9. I think it was 8:30 or 8 to 10 or 11, and you would make the push tapes. And I had a pink Sony tape deck, and the door broke off, so I had to you had to put the tape in a special way and then tape it. And the first tape that I purchased at a store was Salt and Pepper. And remember when they used to sell the tapes and they could have only one song on them? You could buy a single. You didn't have to buy the whole album. And I didn't have enough money.
A maxi single. You could just buy a regular straight up single with the song on it.
Yep. And I didn't have enough money for the whole album. So I would just buy the single. And I bought Push It. I don't get it. Push it real good. Salt and pepper's here. When I tell you that anyone from Brooklyn riding the B61 down Bedford Avenue, yo, I was going to middle school with my little headphones on at 7:30 in the morning. Push it real good.
The whole ride.
Salt and pepper's here, and we're in effect.
Want you to. Yeah.
That was not appropriate for this little girl. But when I say to this day, it's my favorite Salt and Pepper song.
It definitely is. It definitely is. Yo.
Good times.
Salt and Pepper was just so solid, yo.
Good times. Yeah. And my last boombox was a yellow Fancy Pants Sony boombox because I upgraded to the.
Is that the waterproof one? The yellow one?
Yes, with the gray, with the speaker part was gray.
Yeah, and the gray buttons. Yep.
And it had double CD decks, so you could record.
and the bass boost. Remember the bass boost? That bass boost was
And I
everything.
had the Babyface album in there. And then I had my first little boyfriend. I was 17 years old. And
Boom.
I was playing constantly the Babyface tape with the If I Could See You Again.
That was Ja like stalkerish for real. He was kind of like low key.
Just
Yo,
playing it.
but
Rewind and repeat.
but
Rewind and repeat.
Babyface is writing, and that's one thing.
It was
That's why
ridiculous.
that's what makes Silk Sonic so dope, because they're both very strong writers, right? So when Babyface on a Boyz II Men album said, what did he say? I gotta stop pointing fingers. The blame is on me. I want a new life, and I want it with you. If it feels the same, don't ever let it go. You gotta believe in the spirit of love. It will heal all things. It won't hurt anymore. Don't got to believe our love's terminal. I'm down on my knees, begging you, please come home. What? Come on, you got to give that dude another chance. Like, I don't even know, what did he do?
That's
I don't
why
know.
a lot of men got 2 or 3 chances and there's too many babies.
Yo,
That's why.
but also Babyface is also the king of simps, because he was tricking people, because he wasn't the simp that he was in real life. He was laying the blueprint for other people to be simps, whereas he was pimping. I was like, bruh, you
Facts.
telling the wrong rules. You should have been more Jodeci and less
You're
Boys the Men.
straight lying.
Yeah, because real talk, if you grew up listening to Boys the Men, you were softer in life than if you listen to Jodeci.
Straight.
Because in Jodeci,
Oh, I
they was
love
giving you the
Boys to Men.
Jodeci was giving you the blueprint. Every time I close my eyes, I wake up feeling so horny. They weren't. Boys and Men wasn't doing that. Boys and Men was like, I saw you with that other guy. I just didn't care. You don't know how much I love you, do you? You dumbass. She's cheating on you a lot.
Oh,
Stop that shit. Stop it.
cheating on you a
Stop
lot.
it. Stop it, Michael. Tell Wanye to stop turning his head like this and leave that woman. Stop that.
Well, Wanye and what's his name? What's the one with the alien head?
Yo, I don't even want to make fun of my man. Yo, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because he's the one who started off, we belong together. That was that one.
They ended up being the biggest cheaters.
Yo, but Wanya got like 19, 11 children. All right. And they all look like him. There is no more
Like, come
COVID
on.
necessary.
Come on.
And they all singing their entire ass off. You hear me?
And Boys to Men is
I
still
love
out
those
here
kids.
working.
Yeah, the three of them that are left, they doing it.
Yeah,
What
because
I
the
didn't
fourth
know,
one went to jail and like became like caught up in drugs and all kind of foolishness.
yeah, and he had a lot of issues. He actually had MS, and he didn't tell anybody. But then he got mad when people weren't looking out for him. But nobody knew he had MS.
He had a lot of issues.
And then he had depression and a lot of stuff going on. You know what I mean? I wish we had known, because I think if they really did know, they would have reached out to him and they kept asking him what's going on.
You said I wish we had known. Like you was
Oh no, because I was in Motown Philly back again. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Motown Philly back again.
Yeah, yo, I was there. If Boyz II Men had stock, I'd be a millionaire right now, because I just knew I was gonna be in a musical group back then.
Loved them.
Yo, I was singing all their songs, like all of them. Oh fun fact: in order for my daughter to go to sleep at night when she was a newborn, I would sing "Please Don't Go," "Don't Wait Till the Water Runs Dry," "Secret Garden," and "Find 100 Ways" by James Ingram. So "Secret Garden" was by Quincy Jones.
Find 100 Ways is a great song.
Yo, I had to sing those songs.
I gotta add that to my playlist
for her to take her black ass to sleep. Like, otherwise, she would not go to sleep. Like, she would just stay up. Yeah. I'm being nice because that voice was so piercing. So I would do anything, man. I would beatbox.
I wish I could sing for my son to go to sleep. He just wouldn't go to sleep.
No, that's abuse.
Sidebar, I'm sorry, y'all. The ghost is fucking with my lights in my house this evening. It's not respecting me.
I saw the Blair Witch flicker.
You see how it's just like not respecting me. I don't know what's happening. It's,
Yeah, man.
I want to blame it on the liquor, but you see it too. So
I do, but you prayed up, yo. So it's a friendly ghost. It's Casper. He just walking around making sure everybody okay. It's all right. It's all right.
He's doing his own thing.
The friendly. You said Salt and Pepper was here. See? He was doing the Running Man.
Right. It's all right. Look, it's the grandparents because they pissed because now that they know what I was listening to go to school.
Yo, Grandpa would have flipped all the way out, yo. You've been doing Kingdom Hall double duty.
Yo, I can't even.
You had like 17 awakes.
I can't.
85 watchtowers.
It was too
Yo,
much.
but speaking of songs, I'm so glad you love music because
Oh, that's not
the
it.
I'm so glad you love music the way you do, and that we both mutually love music and have a strong appreciation for it. But yo, them Kingdom Hall songs, yo, and it's no diss to nobody who's still Kingdom Hall,
Uh,
yo. But that probably helped
okay,
you to be tone deaf
so
for real. Real talk,
secret
though.
secret note, y'all, but not so secret. Our grandparents were Jehovah's Witnesses. I was raised with the grandparents. They had me at 2.5. Jamal was not. He was raised with our mother. The grandparents were staunch Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh
My
yeah.
grandfather was an elder in the congregation.
Mm.
The hymns,
They should have been called the Huns. Yo, I still remember that this one.
yo,
There's one off note that's in my mind listening right now that I remember at the Kingdom Hall.
yo,
And we praise our Father God. That's all I remember. And I don't know why I know that,
I don't
but
even remember that.
it never left my brain. And I
And
was
I'm
like,
mad that you sung it because now it's gonna get in my head like an earworm.
yo, it's, I mean, you made us, you made us, God. Why do better? Like,
I
write better
mean,
songs.
it
Who inspired y'all to write those songs? You know,
but it was
but
not good.
get it how you live. You know what I'm saying? So believe in the benevolent deity that you choose to make sense to you. But just
I
put
guess.
some rhythm and some melody in it, just a little bit,
I guess. I'm gonna leave them right there with that. They got enough problems because the last I heard, they was getting sued for all kind of shenanigans, child
Oh word.
abuse, sexual abuse, all kind of things.
Oh
There was an expose I saw on Dateline, and I was like, oh, y'all getting caught up like the Catholics.
yeah, but I
Okay,
think the Catholics just kind of moved it to the side. Like, hey, don't worry about us. How about these guys over here?
okay. I've
Yeah,
been
they
out,
hit.
so there's that. Anywho, Jamal, you
Yes.
have um a wonderful company slash program
Mhm.
called Baby Beats.
Absolutely, absolutamente.
I have had opportunity to sit in on a performance by you and your partner.
I was so
Baby
joking on that.
Beats? If I had a baby, I would be there, let him get beat by y'all. It's not a real beating, y'all.
Yo, and it's so funny because I've literally worked so hard to not say that in public, and you just hop right. You was like, hey, excuse me,
Just jokes, just jokes.
beating beating
I meant
babies.
sister. I meant sister. I have to be able to mock him mercilessly. It's my
Yo said
job.
beat babies. Do you? No, we don't beat, and that's why we're changing it. That's why the website is
I'm his
beatboxdads.com
big sister. If
for
I
people
don't
like
mock
you.
him, who will?
Yo,
Huh?
I'm telling you, yo.
Can you please
Mm-mm.
explain to the people what beatbox dads being
Yo, you lucky.
boxing the
You're really
dad?
lucky the parasitis is keeping me from you because you talking like you got diplomatic immunity right now. You
Please
understand?
explain.
But yeah, Beatbox Dads is the overall hub and home for Max and Root. And one of our arms is Baby Beats, which is a live music and movement program for children, where children learn as they play, have a strong appreciation for the base of hip hop, but then explore different sounds, phonemic awareness, how you come with the letters and the sounds, and talking about, starting with your lungs and your diaphragm where your air comes from. It's a large muscle to push the air to the next level for all the words we share. The next step, you got your vocal folds. Your voice box makes the sounds for the words you chose. The end you learn next, known as your voice box, vibrating vocal folds and allowing you to talk. The final step, articulators shape your words for those proper nouns, adjectives, and action verbs. We do stuff like that with the kids, you dig? And we get into
He
it.
even has a whole song that teaches children about Roy G. Biv.
That's my
My
man.
son still remembers that song. It's
That's
so
beautiful.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
we
love
focus
such
on all that.
things. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What would be your what would be a tip that you would give to your 17, 18-year-old self coming into your artistry now
Hmm.
that you are more mature, more rooted, no pun intended, in what it is you do, you live, eat, breathe this life, because it's no longer what you do, it is who you are. What would
Correct.
you tell your younger self?
Whew. The first thing I would tell my younger self is that you don't need something to fall back on.
That's
Uh,
good.
I would say, to quote my homie and mentor Substantial, he has a line in one of his songs, Spill Milk, off his album. Fuck a plan B, a plan A is win, right? So you don't need a plan B if you're doing well with plan A. So craft a very strong and
Plan A.
effective plan A. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
ironically,
Don't
before I
plan
got
to
in,
fail.
you failed to plan absolutely. So
Right.
when and what is it? Chance favors the prepared mind. You know
Right.
what I mean? So a lot of my fortuitousness came from me having a work ethic. And it wasn't necessarily a strong like a Will Smith tireless work ethic, but it was one where I knew that if I put in work, the busy man always gets work. So I knew if I was out doing work and moving, I was going to bear fruit. And I manifest that shit. You know what I mean? Like there's some people who are like, oh, if I do this, I don't know what's gonna happen. No, fuck that. I'm doing this and this is going to happen. So I would give myself the power of intention and really planning, and I would focus and impress upon my younger self to be more organized so that my older self wouldn't be talking to my younger self like, damn it, if I was 10 years younger, I'd blah, 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 which is something that we always do, right? But
Right.
one thing I would
Definitely.
definitely tell my younger self is that art is viable and financially sufficient. You just have to find the avenues. Because I was always open to learn and do
Wait,
those
let me
things.
look, let me write that down.
Art is viable and always sufficient, no matter what type of art you have. If you're a baker, your art is sufficient. You just have to be able to think outside the box, huh? In your baker with a box. Yo, but if you're a writer, what type of writing do you want? If book writing isn't it for you right now and
Right.
journalism isn't it for you right now, that doesn't mean stop journalism. It just
Right.
means step back and look at other ways that your linguistic
Right.
ability can help afford you to do some other things so you can still do
Find
journalism.
a lane and a vein to express yourself in the interim
Right.
until you get to the place where you can expand and do what more or what really and truly calls and feeds you.
Right. And it seems easier said than done, but a lot of us don't even say it
You got to start. You got to
we're
start
saying the
somewhere.
wrong things. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like, yo, I'm going to school and I'm going to major in theater, but I'm going to fall back on this just in case theater don't work out.
Right.
You've
Right.
already that's not a safety net.
Right.
That's a door
I
out. That's a
understand
cop,
that.
that's a back door to be like,
Right.
"Oh, this
And
seems
I've
kind of
done that.
hard. Let me
And I
walk this
have
way."
done that. Right. I've done
Yeah.
that many
Yeah,
times.
and it's tough, right? Because
That's why I'm nodding like a bobblehead because it all
yo,
sounds so familiar to me.
and it's so tough. One of my really good friends, he was somebody who literally was at that moment where they say, like, I actually physically saw it. Sometimes when you say an artist or a business person and they give up just before they're about to break through,
Hmm.
literally this person had an opportunity to open for a huge act at a festival, and the
Hmm.
person he already had a band, he already made product, he was doing an amazing job, but unfortunately he was working hard in the wrong direction and got burnt out as an artist. So
Hmm.
when they asked him to open up for this band, he said, nah. No, he didn't even say nah. He didn't answer the call, he didn't answer the phone.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, whoa, and I heard the story from both sides. So I heard the story from his perspective, and
Right.
then I heard the story from other artists who were trying to put him on because they knew how amazing of a talent he was, but also how much of an awesome person he was. And
Right.
and sometimes those combinations don't always go together. You could be super talented and skilled and be an
And an
asshole.
ass.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or super talented but not very skilled, but have a
Right.
good heart and well intention. So you have all those different things going on.
Right.
Or you could be all three of those and not have the consistent commitment to move forward. You know what I mean? So there's always something in the soup that either propels you forward or makes you sink to the bottom. Yeah, so yeah, I literally saw that. You know what I mean? And for me to see that, I was like, you know what? you're literally one step away, but you don't see the steps. You just have to know that every step you take is a step forward and where you need to go.
I
You know.
love that. That's
So
so
I would.
good.
So in order for my older self to be recognized by my younger self, because I don't, as friendly and as gregarious as I come off, I don't trust people for shit. So I would have to convince myself that I was myself. So I would tell myself something that only myself would know,
Oh,
and then
Jesus.
I would say something random like
All right, doctor.
bop bop
Doctor.
bop bop shabop, and then I'd be like, okay, okay, you're really me. I'm listening. What do you need?
I
You know what I'm
can't
saying?
with you. I cannot. Okay?
Yeah, I would definitely say no. I would say,
Bob,
yo,
Bob, Shabbat.
I would say monkey bars, $25. I'm your older you. And then I'd be like, oh shit, it's the older me. What's up, dog?
Monkey
You got
bars,
you got locks
$25.
now?
Did you find
Yeah.
$25 on the monkey bars?
I can't tell you exactly I'm not gonna tell you the details because you're not me. I already know what happened. It's only for me to know. I love you, sis, but in this case, you gotta mind your business. It's just for this. Just for this. I'll
I'm
tell
gonna
you
see you.
everything else.
I'm gonna
I
see
tell
you.
you everything. Everything. I tell you everything.
Like a man. Everything. Like a you. Like a man. Like a you. Everything.
Yeah, I really hope that's not too prejudiced. I was just joking.
It's not
Um
prejudice at all. I got that shit off of fucking Living Color or whatever the fucking cartoon
Yo,
the show
Living
was that we were
Color
watching.
is so iconic,
It is
yo. Such a
legendary. Okay?
yo, yo. B. And
Legendary.
I went back and looked at some of the outtakes. YouTube is like, and that's another thing. YouTube is so great because I got a chance to see Arsenio Hall when I was an adult. Because when Arsenio Hall, before he left, I was still a young teenager. So
Mm-hmm.
even then, I knew how important it was because when it went off the air, I was
Yo,
pissed.
when Arsenio Hall was on, we used to either be home to watch it or rush home to watch it.
Correct. I would be out all out. I would come home, watch it, and go back out.
Hmm.
That's how
Yeah,
serious
nobody
Arsenio Hall
was
was.
like we didn't have DVR back then, so you were
Nah.
either home to watch it and you left out, or you were rushing home to watch it.
Yeah, there were
Because yo, he
several.
gonna have Halle Berry on tonight, or Prince is gonna be on tonight. I
Yo,
gotta be home for with
yeah,
him.
or he's gonna have all of hip hop and R and
Hmm.
B and all of the jazz musicians
Hmm.
and all of the different multiple genres. You know what I'm saying? Like,
With his
and they all
triangle
look
head.
right, and
Hmm.
and with his long ass fingers, and the majority
Hmm.
of them looked like us. You know what I mean? So there was no other outlet like that. Outside, he'd be like, "Ha ha, yes, I strive for number one."
Hmm.
You know what? Like he
Hmm.
would say dope stuff like that. You know what I mean? So Arsenio was amazing, and when you think about propelling hip hop and people that look like us in the 90s, Arsenio Hall has to be mentioned. Even though a lot of people don't mention him, they don't think about it because it seems so
They might not have
innocuous at the time.
experienced it.
Yeah, right. But some people in the 90s, they might not have noticed it, but a lot of the artists that were popular, he helped to put a lot of people on because he put them on the
Absolutely,
show. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Even when he came back for like that hot 5 minutes under a decade ago, I was still watching most of it, but his I think his time of influence had passed, but
Yes.
it was still great to see him for nostalgia purposes.
And
Kind of like,
I was happy that he got another shot. Why not?
yeah, I'm so glad he did,
Everybody's doing these damn reboots. Why not you?
right, absolutely. Yeah, Sinbad,
Um,
he don't need to come back and do another. Oh, a matter of fact, I don't want to even get on Sinbad because
right,
how's he
because he
doing?
wasn't feeling well. Right.
Yeah, he had a medical
He had,
issue.
yes, he had a major medical issue. So I hope that he is healing and that he's doing
Yeah,
well, especially during
yes.
this time, this tricky
Prayers up for
time.
him, yo. Yeah,
Yep.
because
Yep.
Sinbad was always hilarious, yo.
And he too is legendary. I love him.
Yeah.
As you know, just because it's Potato Picasso does not mean that we are not going to have closing notes. And
Okay.
although I am appreciative of you, teaching me artsy fartsy things,
Mm-hmm.
we still always make time for shenanigans.
Absolutely. What we doing?
I
What
am
are
going
you?
to drop my closing note, and then you have to deliver a closing note for the people. Something
Okay.
funny, something serious, but something that just ran across your brain during the weekend that, is of note, something that is not of the norm, or that you might say, yo, did you see, did you peep, did you know?
Okay.
An aside, here's mine.
Hit me.
Were you aware that there is a whole wiki page dedicated to feet?
Ill.
There's a whole wiki world for feet.
Hmm.
There are men that cruise Instagram, Twitter,
Mm.
all the social media sites. And they grab photos of famous people, of not famous people. They screenshot them and they repost them on
Mm.
WikiFeet, which is a real site for people with foot fetishes.
Yeah, so I really earnestly believed that your closing note was going to be significantly better than that. Um,
WikiFeet, fuckers.
that's Wiki
Get it?
Week, and
Get into it.
I don't like it. I don't want to get into
Why?
any of that. But first of all,
Why?
wash your feet. Uh,
Why?
but there's something for
Why?
everybody. You know what I'm saying? My yuck is
Why?
your yum. You know why not?
No.
Like
No.
you was just
No.
sniffing a straw at the beginning. Like why not? You know what I mean? Don't do that. Oh, don't do it again. People can
It's a
see you.
pen,
People can
and
see
I'm
you.
okay with it. I would much rather be down with this pen that only I use
Yeah.
than Wiki
Then
Feet.
toes, bros and toes.
I'ma say no to the
yo,
toes.
yo, somebody better patent or trademark that joint. Get some bread. Bros and
What?
toes.com.
Wiki Feet?
Hoes and toes. Hoes and toes. Hoes, bros, and toes.
But let
And
me tell
television
y'all
shows.
this, no lies. If I find out I can make some money off of my toes,
I mean, yo, if you do a fans only and go in, yo,
all bets off.
I'm not even mad at you.
If
Real
I
talk.
can make some coins
Not
off of
even
these
mad at you.
crusties,
Real talk. Real talk.
no shame.
Real talk. I'm
I'm
not
in
gonna
it
lie
to
to
win
you.
it. Don't laugh at me when I'm cruising off the change that I made from my corny feet. Pun intended. My corny feet.
Yo. She's here. She's here all night, ladies and gentlemen. She has over 27 episodes.
We at 30 tonight,
That's what
baby.
I'm talking. Oh, 30? That's the
This is
business. I like
30.
that number. I like that
30.
number. Yes,
Our 30th
yes.
episode, baby.
I like
You
that.
are number 30. What
All
is your
right, cool.
closing note, my love?
Let me give it some thought. Okay. Meditate,
Oh, crap.
rest, eat, hydrate. Go to a happy place and stay there for a few moments. Smile and know that you can still have optimism and happiness in the face of all that is going on around you while not ignoring what's going on around you. There is a text somebody sent me the other day, and they were dealing with, you know, cognitive dissonance of somebody else, and they was going through their passive aggressive microaggression foolishness. And this young lady, she's a colleague of mine, and she on her blackety black stuff, 24/7, with an extra hour just for the brothers and sisters. And she was like, "Nah, I'm not about it, and I'm not gonna, what is it? I'm not gonna pay a lot for this muffler." You know what I mean? And I told her, I said, "See it, acknowledge it, but don't absorb it." Isaac Hayes had a song, and it went like this: "Walk on by."
Mm,
So you can
mm,
see it.
mm, mm, mm.
You can see it because you need to see it. You need to acknowledge it. You could even process it, but do your best to not absorb it. Because when you absorb it, that's when shit starts, what I'm saying, doing what it ain't supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
Take it on.
So
Don't take it on.
yeah, and meditate takes on a whole bunch of forms. You know what? You and I have spoken about that. So like, if you can't be still, do something that puts your mind at a lower level of frequency of, you know what I'm saying, like anxiety. Because if you're easily anxious, do something you think that kind of gives you some type of singular focus, so you could at least focus on that, even if it's not being still. If it's listening to one of your favorite songs, like food, music, and exercise are my happy places. Everybody has different happy places. And when I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
food, it don't even got to be like me stress eating. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It could be
Because
me just
that doesn't end up making you happy.
right. It could be me just like, if I feel like, and I don't want to say any particular food, because everybody has foods that they like and dislike, but like, let's say if your food is pizza and you normally have pizza on a Friday, but you're feeling extra down today, go ahead and get you that pizza and those garlic knots Tuesday to get your day, you know what I'm saying, to get the
Right.
rest of your week popping the way you need it to. If you need some
Right.
Bengal spice tea to get it popping, if you got to go to Zeke's Coffee, you
Not
know what I'm
Zeke.
saying? Yeah,
Is
Zeke's.
Zeke cute?
It's a local joint. It's a local joint in the
Is he
city.
single? Cause I like that name.
I mean, Zeke is, Zeke is a freak, so you might want to be careful.
Oh no. Oh,
I
I don't know
mean,
if I can handle all of Zeke. Okay.
I don't know. But hey, I don't know him that personal. He
Oh.
just makes coffee, and I
You
don't
know
even
what?
drink
I have
coffee.
to I have to piggyback off of your closing note on with
Yeah.
all seriousness. I know you have not caught up on my podcast, but you will because you want to maintain the relationship between brother and sister, and you don't want
Mm-hmm.
to die.
I don't want. I
So,
like
because you
life.
want to live to a healthy old age. But
I am. I'm gonna live a long time.
our last episode, Cheyenne and I spoke about self care, and I
Hmm.
did mention at the
I saw the
closeout of
title.
our episode,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
I
The
did
title was funny.
mention at the closeout of our episode that I had just visited an acupuncturist.
Word.
I did, and
We got to talk about that.
it was quite the interesting experience. And Jason, my acupuncturist, well versed in ancient Chinese medicine, I mean, the man is about his business.
Yeah.
Spoke to me about meditating, and you came up in conversation because I said to him, "Have you been talking to my fucking brother?" And he just bust out laughing because he was like, I don't think I know your brother." And I said, because he's always talking about this goddamn meditating, and I'm always telling him, meditating means I start thinking about the grocery list because my brain doesn't stay still. It is always running on 20. It's just always revving. I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, okay." He said, "Well, that's funny." And he literally started laughing. And then he said, "How many times do you find yourself sighing in a day?" And I said, "I sigh all day long." Because I do. I literally walk around and I'm like,
I
as
do
I
a lot
go
more than
onto the, and he said, "That's your
that's
moment of meditation."
yep. I was about to tell you that.
And I said, "What do you mean, Jason?" And I
It's
took my
taking time.
glasses off. I did this. Let's talk about Jason. And I leaned in. Jason is Caucasian, but he got that good Southern Caucasian hair. Like I feel like all Southern white men got the thick white hair, and his
Yeah.
is shoulder length because he's a hippie. Or
There
he
you
looks
go.
like he would have been a hippie back in the 70s, except
Right.
he's too young to still be a hippie. But you know where I'm going with this.
I
It's
do
right here.
understand. Yeah, it's there.
And I
I
said, "What you
completely
talking
understand.
about? What you talking about Jason?" And he said, "Every time you sigh, it means your cup is overflowing. But I would like you to empty your cup. So here's what you do. Tune in, people, because I'm going to teach you what Jason taught me.
Listen
You're
up.
welcome. You're welcome. Sigh at least 10 more times from the diaphragm. You are now going to empty your cup." So he said, and just stand there and continue until you hit 10. At the point that you hit 10, you have now emptied the cup, and then go about your business. That was your meditative moment.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Jason,
Yeah.
shut the front door."
Yeah, yo.
I said,
And it's
"Jason, don't be trying to teach me no slick shit." And
he's right though.
he just bust out laughing. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Sorry, but I cuss a lot. But I'm not sorry." And he was like,
Right.
"No,
Sorry, not sorry.
it's okay." And I really appreciated that because I was like, "Yo, you know how long my brother been talking to me about meditation? And I can't do that shit." Because every time I sit, I'm thinking about the groceries. I'm thinking about what next I got on my list to do. And then I fall asleep or something.
Yeah.
He was like, no, there are other ways to do it. And he said, you might find your way to the kind of meditation that your brother is capable of, and you may not. But there are other ways to find your way to
Mm-hmm.
quieting yourself. It's just quieting yourself and finding a quiet moment to be centered. And I was like, "Sir, I could do that sign shit." So since Friday, which was my first visit with the acupuncturist, I have been sighing my way through to emptying my cup.
Mm. That's dope,
Jamal,
man.
you are always somewhere in my speech and my thoughts. I love you, Mano. Thank you for
I love
spending
you.
time with us
I love you
on Who
infinitely.
Got Time. Thank you for
Absolutely.
talking to us about your artistry on
Yeah.
this evening here on Potato Picasso, the inaugural episode.
Episode 30.
We're ridiculous. Thank y'all for joining us on Who Got Time. I so appreciate you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Love you.
Peace,
Bye.
peace.